Fake it till you make it, my friends. Fake it till you make it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Hi, I'm Hannah, and procrastination is totally inevitable, but here are 6 time management tips that will hopefully help you be more productive while you're in school, or just in life. Work efficiently basically also means just work hard right off the bat. You get an assignment, start it in class, do your homework every night. That should be a given, but seriously, it helps in the long run a lot. Whether it's a flipped classroom and you're doing the reading at night and coming into school the next day, or you're reinforcing knowledge that you learned during that school day, doing your homework will help you so much in the long run because it will save you so much time. Make sure you're taking really efficient, really effective notes right off the bat. I go over this more in my How I Took Notes in High School video, but what I like to do is I would start right off the bat with creating a study guide. My notes would be my study guide. I would type my notes, put them in a Quizlet, or just make sure they were really organized so that I could easily go back to them if I needed to and study. I wouldn't have to go and waste time making a study guide. And I know some people learn from that. If that's a way you study, awesome, that's fine, keep doing you. But this is what worked for me, and honestly I think it saved me so much time. A part of working efficiently is making sure you're studying always, which sounds a little intimidating, and for people who don't know the study techniques that work best for them, it can sound a little freaky. But what I mean is just like, you can always be doing something productive even if you're relaxing. Like I think Kendall Jenner said, I'm talking about a Kardashian. That's a low. I'm sorry. Anyway, I think Kendall Jenner said once, like, if she's watching TV or something, she'll just like do crunches. Because, you know, you can. It's a better way to be productive while you're being unproductive. You know what I'm saying? So like, what I do is when I'm getting ready in the morning or when I'm falling asleep at night or taking a shower or anything like that, I'll just play a video, a science video to review a chemistry concept, or a physics video to review a physics concept, or history, or anything like that. There's so many YouTube channels that will help you review those topics after you learn them, and just kind of like, even if you're not really paying attention, the information just slowly seeps into your head after a while when you keep doing it. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be information that you're learning in school. Like sometimes I just play random SciShow videos in the background. I may not be super focused on like the content of the videos themselves, but I don't know, there's something about having that information being played in the background. I think it helps you connect things and just learn more. So yeah, working efficiently means taking great notes right off the bat, starting your homework in school, doing your homework every night, and making sure you're studying so that you won't be pressed for time later. Develop a routine, a good routine. Normal after school routine would look like for me is I would have track practice after school and I'd get back at like 5. I'd come home, just chill for like a half an hour or eat dinner and probably start my homework around 6. I'd do my homework from 6 to whenever I finished it with a little break in between. I'd shower and I'd go to bed. That sounds really boring, but like I watched movies and stuff a lot while I did my homework, which may or may not work for you, it depends, but it worked for me, so it wasn't that boring. I actually enjoyed doing my homework. Develop a good routine, a good habit. It takes a few weeks to form a habit. Discipline yourself for a few weeks. Eventually, it will feel natural. A part of that, I think, is creating a good study space. Don't do your homework in your bed. Don't do your homework someplace that you like to reserve for like fun, which sounds bad again, but have a desk or a little corner in your room. I have a desk in the corner of my room facing a wall because studies show apparently that is more productive. You're more productive if you're facing like a blank wall or a pretty like uncovered boring wall or whatever. And it will just help you get things done. If you have that space in your room or in your house and you just kind of like, once you form that habit, when you sit down in that room, you'll just kind of be like, okay, it's time for me to get to work. Self-discipline is probably the most important part of time management. You can just force yourself to create a good habit. It will stick with you and you'll reap the benefits from that pretty quickly. Stay organized and plan ahead. Could be like a lot of people and go out and purchase like a $50 planner or something like that, or a big calendar or whatever. I was never really that kind of person, pretty cheap, so I just used the Notes app on my phone, and honestly that was enough for me. Write everything down, every assignment down immediately so you won't forget it. The worst thing ever is going into school the next day and realizing you totally forgot an assignment was even assigned. What I would like to do in the notes app on my phone, my little planner place, I would write down every class and I would write down the homework I have for that class or any tests or projects that week and when it's due, so I can keep them in mind and I can keep seeing them. I'd put them in bold if there was a due date coming up or anything like that that I needed to focus on. And in parentheses after that, I would put the amount of time that I would expect to dedicate to that assignment that night. Now, I always tended to underestimate things, and I learned that pretty quickly, so you have to learn to overestimate things because things always take longer than you expect them to. By thinking about how much time you're going to have to dedicate to your homework that night, that can really help you plan out what your night and your weekend and your week's going to look like. So maybe you have to go right to homework when you get home, or maybe you have a little extra time so you can go out with friends that night, grab a bite to eat with them, or just hang out for a little bit. I found that very helpful. Also, when you write things down, there's like a major satisfaction to like erasing it or deleting it or whatever. And so yeah, that kind of just makes you feel more productive when you get to do that. It's nice. I would also write them on a whiteboard that I had in my room just so that I could physically check things off, and maybe have an overarching goal for that night as well. Writing down your goals, writing down the work you need to do, it's truly a really, really helpful thing to do. And it's satisfying. Learn to prioritize. This honestly comes naturally after a while. Like if you're really disciplined and you're really motivated, like if you're working hard to achieve your goals, it will fall into place naturally. But it's important to keep in mind what is important and what isn't. At the top should definitely be your health, your mental health, your physical health, your family, and then your schoolwork, and then your other commitments and activities, and then your friends, and then everything else. Those are the most important things. A big part of learning to prioritize is also learning how to say no. Whether it's saying no to going out with your friends one night because you know you have a big test coming up or a lot of homework that you really need to get done before a certain event, or if it's learning to say no to schoolwork sometimes because maybe you have slept 2 hours all week and you're going a little bit crazy and you just need a break. That's okay. That's something that took me a really long time to learn. Sometimes your health, your sanity, your sleep is more important than finishing 50 calculus problems. You know, the world will not end, your GPA will not fall if you don't finish one homework assignment. Sometimes sleeping is more important. 5. Understand yourself and your needs. Now this one's a little different, and it's something that I started doing probably 2 or 3 years ago, but you definitely don't have to do this, but this is just something that I like to do and I think has been helpful. I keep a lot of data on myself. I track every minute of sleep that I get a night. I track all the food that goes into my body, all the exercise I do, and for a while I even tracked like my happiness over time. I stopped doing that a while ago because that became too much and it was definitely too just like all over the place, like very, very subjective. But food, exercise, sleep, that's what I've maintained over the past few years. And that may seem like a little extra, but it's actually pretty easy to do and it becomes a habit after a while. It's really easy to do it in your phone. I think your phone might do it automatically, or you might just have to press a few buttons to set it up. But basically, I do that just so I can better understand myself. You know, if I'm feeling really, really awful and unmotivated or distracted, I can look and see like, okay, what have I been eating? Have I not been getting enough sleep? You know, what do I need to change to fix myself? Like, I don't know. I think it's just something about like knowing those things. It kind of, I guess, makes me feel like I have more control over myself. If I can control those parts of me, I think I am able to be more productive. Part of understanding yourself is the environment that you thrive in. So a lot of people, me included, I like to work in a clean environment now. I am awful about putting away my laundry, like the worst about it. Like it's so bad about it. But when I do it, when I clean my room, when I put away my laundry, when I'm working in an efficient space, because my desk, my place that I do my work is in my room, when I'm working in a clean space, it kind of just like calms you down. It makes you feel more productive, and I don't know, it's just, there's something about it. I work well in that environment. So if I'm feeling really chaotic, if I clean my room, sometimes I feel better, or maybe it's something else, I don't know. But controlling all of those factors can be very helpful. But yeah, those are some of the things that I do to help myself understand myself. But experiment. You try things that work for you. Maybe you'll find one of my techniques very helpful, or maybe there are other ones that you would prefer. If you like to study outside, or study at the library, or study or do your work something, I don't know, a billion other things, get creative with it, figure it out. Everyone's different. This one really encompasses everything that I've talked about in this video. It's just do it. Just do it. Just make yourself do it. You know, whether it's homework, schoolwork, work, or anything else, just do it. Time management is all self-discipline. Just making yourself sit down and do it. It's like really hard sometimes. I know. Would I like to just sit down and watch Netflix all day? Yes, of course. Who wouldn't? There are some great Netflix originals out right now, like seriously. But when you just kind of sit down at that desk, sit down at your study space, your body will just be like, okay, I guess we have to do this now, we might as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope these tips help. They certainly helped me, and I will certainly continue to use them at college in a few months. So yeah, like, subscribe, do whatever you want. It's whatever. Again, I'm Hannah, and thank you so much for watching.